Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, gluten-free. That's good. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to OK Bud, the podcast where everything's going to be okay, bud. I am Ben Kissel at Ben Kissel1, joined by Jerry Aquino.
Hello.
At Miss_Jerry, that's Jerii, and Kyle Plouffe.
Hey.
At Kyle Plouffe. Thank you all so much for joining. If you want to watch live, go to patreon.com/diebud. You can watch every episode and comment, and then we read your comments, and then you're a part of the show.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting? Also, shoot us an email, okbudpod@gmail.com. Share us pictures of your animals. Who knows? Any stories you want to tell us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a couple
We got in a story.
Yes, we do have a story we're going to start off with here. We also have a couple of updates to get to,
Ooh.
which will be very exciting. Okay, let's go to the emails.
Bring it up.
What about our emails?
Who's emailing?
What about our emails?
What about the email?
Let me see your emails.
Your
Pizza orders in there?
Or electronic mail.
Pizza means child.
Yes.
What?
That's what I learned from the conspiracy web.
Yeah.
When people want to order a pizza,
They wanna
they're
order
ordering a child?
Traffic child.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
covered in marinara.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then you got to eat the pepperonis off them.
Well, that doesn't sound very good.
No, it's like a strip club that has the sushi on top of the person there lying there, and
Oh,
that's
boy.
all disgusting.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird?
Throw it all
Kids
out.
seem thorny. I mean, just
Oh, yeah.
Kyle's kid could cut my finger off, just clean off with like 2 teeth.
Oh, he's devastating.
Yeah. I
Strange.
don't want to be near one of those for food.
Absolutely not.
No.
Well, that's the thing. All right. Well, this story comes in from Daisy. Speaking of children, didn't all of us take a bus at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah, we sure did.
Isn't that fun?
Varying lengths. But
Yes.
Varying lengths.
Some were the short bus, some were the long bus. I was in a long bus, but I'm so tall it was the short bus to me.
And if you grew up in
Hey.
New York City, sometimes it's the public bus.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
man.
That is
That one
sad.
sucks.
She says on episode 44, you talked about the woman who maybe got hit by a bus. That was Virginia Gouffre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is back in the news, but I don't even care anymore because that's a whole other thing that they have to work out themselves.
We
Yeah.
put it to rest.
We
Yeah.
put that to rest. She says, I lived way out in the country growing up, to the point that the car bus route took over an hour to get us to school
Oh
and
my
from. All throughout elementary school, we had the worst driver because she was the only one willing to work that route.
Wow.
So didn't you have the best driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Come on.
Yeah. So true.
They say we had 3 wrecks under her until she had to retire because she had a heart attack while driving us.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Well, if she pulled over safely, kudos on her.
I don't think she did. She says, twice we just hit somebody's car. But the memorable wreck was the last one. She took a turn too shallow, and our bus literally flipped over into a ditch.
Oh, damn.
The windows were on the floor, and we were all standing on them after getting thrown around like maracas.
Oh my God. Well, it's a good thing kids are durable.
Exactly.
They're also pretty buoyant.
Oh, you can't kill a kid. You
Yeah.
really got to try.
You have to try so hard. They'll bounce. They'll melt. They'll like a cat, like when they squeeze underneath doors and just all of a sudden flatten themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They get under weird shit. You're like, how'd you get there?
When I hang out with Caden, Kyle's kid, when Kyle's
Yeah.
not looking, I'll bend his arms all freaking weird. Doesn't feel it.
No.
She goes on to say, as an adult, now looking back, I'm horrified, but I remember that being the best bus ride ever.
Yeah.
We got to climb along the back of the seats like we were Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. They're just like climbing on top of the bus, like, Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, that's
But
fun.
not really. Yeah.
And the bus driver has a heart attack and kind of laugh and stuff. 'Cause you don't take anything seriously because death isn't real yet.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, a big adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Also they had like a work level commute to their school. An hour to and from
Nightmare.
for school. I would hate that so much.
Lunchboxes flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
That
thing.
means you got to wake up too early.
And
You
you
know,
know,
at 5 a.m.
depending on what grade it was, some of their backpacks are larger than them. So they could have just like landed on all this backpack cushion.
Yep. That's a good point.
They always wear these giant little things. It's like a little kid, and then inside is like one folder, like one little pen box.
Yep. And then now they actually have a little pocket for the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that nice? A little gun pocket. No, unfortunately, the kids now, their backpacks have to be clear. Yes, you have to have
What
a
is
clear.
it?
Like they're going into a
It's
stadium?
concert? Yeah.
Yes. Poor kids. I'm sorry, guys.
They have to be clear all the time?
I
Or
think they have to be
specific
clear all the time.
States, maybe?
Maybe it's just states or school districts, but I'm pretty certain they have to be clear.
I feel like that's
That's your sacred spot. That's your stuff in there.
yeah.
Can't even sneak your Crocs in anymore.
I know.
Crazy.
Well, let's get to an update. Last episode, we talked about the helicopter crash from hell,
Yeah.
where the 6 folks, 5 family members, and 1 pilot, who apparently was a veteran, crashed into the Hudson after they forgot to screw on the Jesus nut,
Oh my god.
which is that thing that keeps the helicopter together. But good news! The New York City helicopter touring company that was responsible for the crash, they're advertising a 70% discount on flights.
Heyo.
We're slashing the competition.
Oh, we're
Isn't that
They were
cool?
slashing themselves.
wow.
Yeah.
But there's people that are going to take that action, right?
Well, you're saving money now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause there's going to be like those New Yorkers or just people in general that are like, all right, what are the chances that like it crashes right now immediately after that time? Like,
Yeah.
we've got some leeway room before the next accident happens. At least a week.
It reminded me what Kyle told me, where he said his buddy just travels based upon where their last terrorist attack was, because he says after a terrorist attack, the city's safer than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, he was after 9/11. He's like, I'm booking a ticket to New York.
Yeah. No, seriously. Now is the time to get in your $20 helicopter rides around the Hudson.
You imagine that crashing, and all of a sudden you're like, and I paid full price. This sucks.
You're like, where is the refund going to go now?
Well, at least, Bev, we got 70% off.
Well,
It was nice knowing you.
Here I am paying for the skies. I'm in the Hudson. I'm getting twice as much.
yeah, technically. It's
not
a
good.
twofer.
When you get on your helicopter, they give you little floaties just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's not good.
So it's a helicopter tour company. They were behind a fatal 2018 New York City crash. They're the ones who are slashing the prices after another company, of course, had the massive disaster. This one's called Fly Nyan.
Fly Nyan?
Fly Nyan. And they're offering 70% off various tours around the city, including trips just like the one offered by the other company that killed everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure they just switch company names all the time so that they're not ever being looked up.
I'm sure.
It's like, oh, you're the company that killed everybody again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I'd probably think of a new name fast.
I mean, how many helicopters are going around?
Right.
Like, they're all sharing helicopters, I bet.
It's so true. It's probably like 3 quote unquote rival companies, but they all share the same backyard of helicopters.
They're hot coptering?
Yeah, they're
Jeez.
hot coptering. You know,
Yeah.
like the dudes that rent out the mopeds in South Beach
Oh, yes.
or the bicycles in L.A.
Yes, and then you get hit by them. You get hit in your heels by them.
Yeah. Well, at least they're not all held together by one nut.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's me right now.
Yeah.
I'm one nut away from dying.
Falling apart completely. Jesus
Senate
Christ.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, you would think he has more stuff to do, but he says this is outrageous,
Yeah.
offering a discount.
Wow.
Oh,
But I don't.
he didn't say it was outrageous for the crash?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just mad about the discount.
Yeah. He's like 70%. It should be 85.
Really?
You
yeah.
killed 6 people. Come on. I'm not going to give you. Come on.
Yeah, he made a whole speech about this. He says, listen to this, Fly Neon is offering the same kind of flights that just took the lives of these 6 people, but now, because of the crash, they're giving a 70% special discount. Outrageous, outrageous. So maybe he likes it.
Outrageous.
This is outrageous.
Come get it now before it's over.
Why is he talking about this?
I have no idea. 'Cause he's distracting people.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he is really about the prices of the helicopters in New York City.
Is he the owner and he's pissed?
He might be. Who knows?
It's a fire sale.
Yes, indeed. And another update. Eric and Lyle Menendez, I believe it's this Thursday.
Oh.
They are up for resentencing.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, it's fast and slow.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
it was
know.
supposed to be in like January, December. It was around Christmas time when they were about to do it. So it's taken a little bit, but
Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Michael Jessic He says everything you argued today is absolutely fair game for the resentencing hearing next Thursday.
Ooh.
And that was when the prosecution showed a bunch of pictures of Jose and Kitty Menendez's body.
Oh, just liquefied?
Yeah, all messed up. And then Eric and Lyle were like, you didn't tell us you were going to show that. And then the prosecutor was like, well, you did all that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
They didn't have footage of them getting molested, though, because that would
Right, that would like pretty much even it out.
Yeah, exactly.
That would level the playing field.
Sure. Tape for tape.
Yeah.
Let's go to the tape.
Did you say taint for taint?
Tape for tape.
Oh, gotcha.
The tail of the tape.
Tail of the tape. See?
Tail of the taint.
So they are going to continue to show Jose and Kitty Menendez. That's what the prosecution is going to do and be like, these are the guys who did it, and they're real bad dudes. And then the defense is going to be like, as Kyle just said, well, they were all molested.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Well, I mean, I think
We'll see.
I think that's fair because there has been a lot of like up talk about like their quote unquote innocence or their like level of defense because they've been and everyone's been feeling emotional about it. I mean, like, yeah, that's true. They got molested. Or this movie came out and
Yeah.
like showed the horrors of it, and then people are kind of forgetting. Like, no, they still destroyed the fuck out of their parents,
right.
with shotguns.
I mean,
They
it's
burned their
important to remember.
faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should have the dude from Menudo who was molested by Jose Menendez come on and be able to
They
talk
really
about it,
should,
too.
or like wasn't one of their cousins also molested?
Well, he wasn't molested, but he knew about it.
So then we should bring those, they should bring those people on.
There was a letter that they found like way after
Yeah.
the court case that talked about it to his cousin. So his
Yeah.
cousin definitely knew.
So
Yeah.
they should talk about that and then also bring up the photos of how they shot their parents.
They were a
Sure.
good shot.
Absolutely. A tit for tat.
Yeah.
Well, what's so interesting when you become a celebrity? You get to hang out with other celebrities.
What?
And this is kind of fascinating for Lyle Menendez.
Uh-oh.
It turns out that he has a very strong relationship with a certain comedian.
Oh. Miss
Ro-
Pat?
Comedian?
No,
Did you say comedian?
comedian.
Saying that it's a woman?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Isn't that?
Irish national, Rosie O'Donnell.
yes.
I don't know, but they are good friends.
Wow.
So apparently Rosie has been speaking with Lyle Menendez for years.
Really?
Yes.
See, you guys said he was going to come out and be a gay icon. I think you might be right.
I said his brother. But
Oh.
maybe he's going to like take the twist.
Mm.
Lyle's the one with the he's the bald one.
He's the bald one.
Eric is the tall one who's married to Tammy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric and Tammy. O'Donnell, she says, he started calling me on a regular basement. He started calling me, probably from a basement, almost from a basement. He started calling me on a regular basis from the tablet phone thing they have. Then she says, he would tell me about his life, what's been going on in prison, and for the first time in my life, I felt safe enough to trust and be vulnerable and love a straight man.
I'm dead. For the first time, she felt safe talking to a man behind bars that can't actually reach her in any kind of way.
A straight man.
Yes.
Wow.
So this is Lyle is the straight man for her.
Yes.
Because she felt all unsafe around other straight men.
Yeah.
What the?
The key to this is prison. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, he killed he's still a double murderer.
Yeah, but
I just feel so safe.
I feel so safe
Yeah.
because he's locked up,
Mm-hmm. So,
and I'm in Ireland.
yeah. I don't know.
How can this go wrong?
A land where there's no straight men.
Yes.
So apparently, they were discussing the crime on Larry King Live in 1996. The former talk show host said that she believed Lyle and Eric's claim of childhood abuse and molestation by their father, and that killing their parents was an act of self-defense. So she was saying that on Larry King Live back in 1996.
Wow.
Which is quite interesting because, of course, most
Wow.
people were like, that's just false, and they're just trying to say anything to get out
Right.
of being found guilty.
Yeah.
So after her appearance, O'Donnell received a letter from Lyle, and it thanked her for her support and stated his belief that she knew from a personal place that what he was saying was true. So she says, I know you're telling the truth.
Oh.
Rosie O'Donnell, 1996.
Wow.
Yeah. I wonder if they just laid low and didn't spend so much money after the deaths.
Well, that was the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what made it seem like they were in it just for the money because they were just doing everything lavishly.
Yeah, because they were kids and they were morons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The actress herself said that she has experienced something similar to Eric and Lyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
She says that she and her siblings had been molested by their father.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she understands where they're coming from. O'Donnell says, at that point, I had not ventured anywhere near this in my family or in my therapy. So this case really brought that to the forefront for her.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Isn't that fascinating?
So she didn't shoot her dad with a shotgun?
She did not.
Oh, interesting. But she was like, but I could see how that could make you feel like doing that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
And then maybe she didn't have, maybe the sister, maybe they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Eric and Lyle, they were discussing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they were like, let's go get that gun.
Let's go do the things.
It wasn't until 2002 when the siblings case gained new life on TikTok that the comic reached back out. O'Donnell explained that she had heard of the prisoner's wife, Rebecca Sneed, who contacted her to see if she was interested in speaking with him.
Oh, that's nice.
So there you go. So they're having a nice time.
Dude, his smile is so creepy.
It's a creepy smile. It's a creepy smile.
It is very creepy.
Yeah. O'Donnell, she did say at first she was concerned because he's a murderer. But now she doesn't care.
Now she's over it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, at first it's like, scary. But then, you just look inside.
Yeah, look inside. Apparently, Lyle talked O'Donnell into getting a dog for her son Clay through a prison program he was involved in.
Wow.
The inmates were working to train dogs, and I guess she got one of the dogs. So she's got Lyle's dog.
She's got a prison dog. That's pretty cool.
Clay was paired with a Labrador mix that was trained by a man who was in prison for armed robbery. Okay, so it wasn't exactly his dog, but it was a man who was in prison for armed robbery.
Yeah.
I don't know if they let murderers have the dog.
Yeah. It is ballsy that, this is a resentencing, not a pardoning, I know. But if this doesn't go through, their next hope is to get pardoned. But they're now associating with the one person the president hates the most.
Oh, that's true.
So I don't know if that's such a good look.
Someone that ran.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes.
Yeah, that was America. America. Here we are. So, O'Donnell says, I noticed the difference in Clay immediately. That's her son, when he got the dog. She says, I was so shocked to find out all these tall tales I heard from other mothers of autistic children were true.
Wait, what?
Her kid's autistic.
But she said all of the tall tales that were
Yes,
true.
All the tall tales that mothers of autistic children talk about are true.
Well, I thought she was going to say all the tall tales that mothers talk about are not fully.
Maybe she's talking
all
about
the tall tales are
but-
definitely true.
Okay, there was a new documentary that came out. It's called Unleashing Hope. The Power of Service Dogs for Autism.
Hope was on a leash.
Yeah.
Now unleashed it.
Yeah, Unleash Hope.
Wow.
So apparently, if you're autistic, get yourself a service dog. Things are going to be good for you.
Oh,
Isn't that nice?
that is very nice.
So anyway, this is her film. It comes on the heels of her moving to Ireland once again. Yes.
Fantastic.
So it's kind of that's strange.
So it's weird. Yeah, you never know who's connected in this world.
No.
Yep.
And you're like, look at those two. We didn't picture them as friends, but okay.
Indeed.
Yeah.
They're having a great time.
Sounds like
And Clay is happy with the dog that Lyle sent.
I love that.
We'll keep you updated, hopefully, by the end of this week.
Oh yeah,
We
we hope
will
to
know
know
more.
something. Yes.
Because again, it seems as if it's been a lot.
It's kind of interesting.
It
If
is.
they get out, they're going to be in LA.
Yeah. They're gonna be hanging out.
Whoa.
They're gonna hang out at the Ha Ha Club. It's gonna be great. Where do you think they're gonna go
man.
first?
They're probably going to get memberships right away at the Soho House and just hang out there looking for more documentaries about themselves.
Yeah.
That actually sounds right. Yeah. Looking to do more documentaries about themselves.
Well, we'd have to kill again. I don't know. It's interesting, but she's in Ireland, so they can't even really hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
That's how that's by design.
For 3.5 years at least.
Yes. Well, speaking of Donald Trump, this next story is quite interesting. A Wisconsin teen, my home state,
Hey.
the land of cheese and beer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And serial killers.
Nice.
Yes, it's cold. So, a Wisconsin teen, and this is also involving murder of parents. A Wisconsin teen allegedly murdered his mother and stepfather. Why? To obtain financial means and autonomy necessary to kill Donald Trump.
Wow.
Wait, whoa, okay.
His
There's
name
a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot to unpack here.
There really is. Nikita Gassip, 17 years old. They were arrested in March and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of hiding a corpse after killing his mother, Tatiana, and
my God.
stepfather, Donald, in their Waukesha home.
That's so messed up.
It's crazy, right? Waukesha, just outside of Milwaukee, a nice little suburb area.
Oh.
Did their parents like vote for Trump even?
I
Or,
think he just wanted the money to go kill Donald Trump.
He could have.
Ask for a cosign on a loan or a credit card.
Yeah, he could have done. He could have gotten emancipated. There's so many routes you could take.
There's a lot.
Why is the first like? Yeah, I got to take my parents out.
Yeah. I mean,
Can't dig into my mom's purse if she's alive.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, what happened to just stealing from your mother's purse?
yeah.
We're just not killing the president.
Well, yeah.
You know, we could-
Oh yeah.
it's America.
Right. Now, well, we're talking about just step one. We're
Step
saying-
one, yeah,
we're-
exactly.
Step one is really let's just go through the logic of each step.
Yeah,
of the
right.
crime.
He needs to attain finances.
Yeah.
So, yes, he needs finances. Right.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't get a job. He could have gone the Wendy's route.
yeah.
But maybe automation screwed him over.
Yeah.
Okay. So, after he killed his mother and stepfather, he slashed their bullet-ridden bodies under blankets for weeks. So he hid them under blankets.
Oh.
In the house.
I guess in the house.
That smell's gonna come to get you pretty fast.
Oh,
no?
at some point, yeah, they're just like, "Where are your parents?"
That's the kid.
Yeah.
He's a scary kid.
Looking at the photo, he looks pretty scary.
You know, I mean, he's got the flat jacket on. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not the most appealing outfit.
Right.
No, but
he's been
it's also like the look in his eyes. It's all dead and hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Documents allegedly written by the teen and reviewed by the FBI called for the assassination of Trump. Okay, this is very interesting. It's going to take a turn here.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Called for the assassination of Trump and the start of a revolution to, quote, save the white race.
Oh.
Okay, wait.
So he wanted
All
to
right.
martyr Trump and then be like, hey, now we're going to have a race war. And now me, Nikita, is going to save the white race.
Okay. Where
Wow.
is this name from?
I don't know.
Russia.
Thing.
Yeah, he looks Russian.
Probably Russian. Yeah.
So then the teen, he was scrawling. So there's a bunch of drawings. They're calling them scrawlings, which I assume just means bad drawings.
Scrawling.
Scrawlings.
Scrawling.
Yes.
Okay.
He had a lot of images of Adolf Hitler. And then this was the following text. It said, "Hail Hitler, hail the white race, hail victory." So he was hailing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What a weather report.
Wow. Maybe
Just not himself.
definitely not himself. Definitely not his parents either. I guess his parents really didn't
Jeez.
vote for Trump.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a whole roundabout way to start a race war.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we'll just do the necessary like martyred things. He's just a
Right.
pawn in the game of life, just a larger plan.
Which I wonder if that one idiot who tried to kill Trump, I wonder if that was his plan also.
Yeah.
I don't know. These guys are a little wacky.
They're not
Wild.
thinking because the opposite side is looking at Trump like he's the new Hitler. So then you're going to kill the new Hitler and praise the old one?
Well, then, but God, it's tough. 17-year-old Waukesha boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Try to
yes.
get into the brain. I think he thinks people are going to be so mad they're going to take up firearms, and then everyone was just going to kill everyone that isn't white, and then vice versa,
Oh.
and then the race war will start.
Wow.
The race war will start, and then the white people will win.
Yeah. Mhm.
It ends with the white people winning.
Well, in his lore,
Right.
yeah. Investigators say he was in touch with other parties about his plan to kill the president and overthrow the government of the United States.
Was he trying to be the
Yeah,
president?
he was going to be the president.
Does he? Oh, so he's trying to be the new Hitler.
I guess so. And then they say, and he paid for, at least in part, a drone and explosives to be used as a weapon of mass destruction
Oh damn!
to commit the attack.
Oh damn!
So he's
That
on it.
is messed up. I mean, no, now that they've caught him,
This is a lot.
this kid's gonna be stuffed in a shoebox.
Yeah, he really is. What you writing in there? Hey,
Scrawls.
Nikita, what you writing in there?
Yeah,
Just sometimes ask your kid what's in their little notebooks.
it's not Nikita, it's Nikita.
Nikita. So they say other parties with whom Kassup was in contact appeared to have been aware of his plan and action, and they provided assistance to Kassup in carrying them out. So he had a whole crew of morons.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my God, they probably really believed in him, like he is the new Hitler or something.
Yeah.
He thought he had disciples.
Well, the facial hair isn't matching up. He's
Yep.
Very young. He's got that young hair.
Yeah.
See the grease. Like it's just teenage boy hair is greasy.
It's always greasy. They're also oily.
Yeah. Zitty.
Yeah.
They're nervous.
Yeah.
Clammy.
Sweaty.
What are you so nervous about? No, I'm trying to start a race war. It's a lot of work.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Talking to girls.
Talking to girls, trying to start a race war,
Trying to fight this boner.
Authorities also uncovered materials on the teen's phone related to the Order of the Nine Angles.
Wow.
It's a network of individuals holding new Nazi racially motivated extremist views.
Oh, God. Man,
I mean, if you're Donald Trump, you're like, aren't you supposed to be one of my people?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're going to kill me too?
You're going to kill me?
Does anybody want me alive other than Dana White?
Right.
So he faces charges including, obviously murder. Apparently he just wanted $10,000.
Oh, geez.
That's all he thought it was going to take.
Could have.
$10,000.
He really could have gotten that without murdering his parents, but there's definitely something a little more deep-seated in there that this kid's got to work out.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have a lot of time to work that out.
There is a lot more reason that he killed his parents.
Yep. Police performed a welfare check at the family's home February 28th after the teen was absent from the Waukesha West High School for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So you got to pretend like everything's okay.
Yeah. Mistake number one.
You got your stepdad and your mom rotting under a bunch of blankets. You got to go to school.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing about it.
You do. You have to be exactly the same student you were. Not any better, not any worse.
Everything's just fine. Still kind of creepy. Perfect. Greasy. Nice.
Yep.
Parents probably still alive.
Probably.
Cops found the teenager's mom buried under piles of clothes and a blanket in the hallway near the kitchen. That is so gross. With multiple shots to the neck, upper torso, abdomen, and right wrist.
Damn.
So maybe the right wrist may have been a defensive wound. And as you can see in the mugshot, he does have acne.
Yeah.
He has a lot of acne.
Yeah.
And then Kassab's stepfather was discovered in the home's first floor office with a gunshot wound to the head. So he was just hanging out with these bodies for like weeks.
Dude, he did a school shooting in his own house. What an asshole.
Yeah. Both bodies were decomposed beyond recognition, forcing authorities to use other methods to confirm their identity.
Like their teeth.
Yeah, like their teeth and
hair.
He has not yet entered a plea. But it don't look good.
Does not
for
look
the
good.
Waukesha boy.
He should, no. Take away any pen and paper from this kid.
Mm-hmm.
No more scrawlings for you.
Yeah,
no more scrawlings.
Stop jotting down ideas.
Adolf hieroglyphics.
Well, speaking of school, this story is interesting. Athletics.
Things I don't have.
You do. You're very good at yoga.
Oh, that's okay.
That's a very athletic thing to do.
I can do self-athletics. I'm not good in team sports.
Yes, and nor was this child we're going to speak about. But I do want to ask the question, if something happens in a basketball game or a football game, should you be charged with a felony?
What?
Depends.
A West Virginia high school basketball player, he is facing a felony charge for repeatedly fouling one of his opponents. Apparently, he fouled the guy so hard he broke his nose.
Wow.
And now he's been arrested. His name is Gage Ketterman.
Wow.
And he's 18 years old.
Dude, Gage Ketterman, 18 years old, pumped on steroids. He was born to be pumped on steroids, be punching guys on the fucking court.
Gage.
Yeah.
It's both a cool name and a douchey name.
Yeah.
But it can kind of go either. It's very superhero-ish.
Kind of.
Gage. Anyway, he's a West Virginia high school athlete.
Oh my God, is that him?
Yeah.
That's him.
Just seeing a picture.
Yeah. No, this episode has a lot of scary whites.
Wow. Yeah. I see that.
Yes, between Rosie O'Donnell and Gage.
Just flaring those nostrils away.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
A West Virginia high school student, he's facing adult felony charges after he allegedly elbowed his opponent in the face, breaking his nerves during a basketball game. My question again is, I don't know. I feel like it's a sacred space.
That's a sacred space.
Where you kind of get to get away with a little bit of violence.
Yeah.
But
isn't that why you guys do sports to begin with?
Right.
That's
you get it out.
literally the point.
That's why they always say, well, put that boy in sports. He's got a lot of gumption.
Yeah. He's got to work out a lot of that energy.
Yeah. Otherwise, he's going to become a serial you know, something.
Serial what?
Something. Killer or...
That's bad. Right.
Yes. So he's 18. He was at the Harmon School. He was arrested on Monday for the alleged in-game attack.
I wonder how they decided to. I guess the kid that took the hit went home very upset, and their
So-
parents decided to press charges or something.
Apparently, the kid that he elbowed in the nose, his nose was bleeding for 4 hours.
Okay.
And then his parents had to bring him to the hospital, and it's a whole thing.
Okay.
But it happened during the heat of the moment.
But they said he kept on doing it. Is one of those?
Well, you
things
get
where-
6. You get 6 a game.
Yeah.
You get 6 fouls a game.
Oh.
Make them count.
Unless you
Make
get
them
technicals, then you get 2 or 1, depending on the rules.
And there's no word if he got booted from this game. I think the ref was like, play on. So West Virginia State Police, they were notified about the assault February 27th after the injury was reported by the student's mother.
Right.
I'm just not sure about this.
Yeah, but it's like I said, if he did it with malicious intent, like he already planned to be hurting this kid as much as possible before he even started the game.
He wasn't scrawling in his notebook
He was
before the
not.
game, I don't believe.
He could have been plotting in his brain.
He could have been plotting. Could have been plotting. The woman claimed her son was elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
The victim's nose reportedly bleeding profusely, as I said, for more than 4 hours. And there was some video from the game that was reviewed by
Ooh.
state police.
I want to see.
And they said that the jab was directly in the face of the opposing player.
Damn.
Throughout the game, the clip has also showed him allegedly taunting multiple players by striking them in the back of the head.
God, what a bully.
Yeah, I don't think he really understood what basketball is.
Or he was watching a lot of 1980s NBA, because
That's
this
true.
used to happen all the time. There would be one person that went out, they were called the enforcer, and they would go elbow people in the face till the other team fought them.
Drew, Anthony Mason, New York Knicks, baby, let's go.
It's
It is
frowned
just-
upon in today's, sports.
It's not, yeah.
It is a throwback. I just don't know if the kid needs a freaking mugshot. I think he needs a talking to and be like, that's not what athletics is all about.
I don't even know if
Yeah.
this is the kid's mugshot. I think this is him with like his basketball shot.
Well, he's scary.
He's
Yeah,
just a terrifying gentleman.
Yeah.
I think it's a mugshot, but maybe not.
It looks like, I don't know, the walls of my gym. So
It does. It does look like a gym wall thing.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like a school mugshot.
He's like right in front of the vent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's where you want to put your butt.
Yeah.
Yum.
Authorities noted that in the video, Ketterman can be seen, quote, wiping something off the elbow he had just used to strike the Union player.
Damn. Like what?
Like his boogers.
Blood.
Like pins and needles?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, do you arrest the kid? The officers concluded that Ketterman's actions seemed, quote, intentional and criminally malicious in nature.
Yeah.
I
want to see footage.
I've been trying to find it. I can't.
Damn.
I couldn't find any either.
I guess maybe because now it's like police evidence or something.
Maybe also I think everyone else is probably underage, but does that stop footage? I don't know.
I don't know.
So because Ketterman was 18 at the time of the incident, he's going to be charged as an adult. But again, they don't even say if he was kicked out of the game.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't know if arresting is the right way to go in this case.
I mean, it's also on like the coach. If you're seeing a kid that's that out of control, you got to take him out of the game.
You gotta
do
do it.
what is going on.
He should have pulled him back a
Yeah,
couple of
right.
hits ago.
Yeah, kids be bopping people in the back of the head.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basketball.
Wow.
Should have gotten into wrestling, but even in wrestling, you can't do that.
1 malicious assault and 2 attempted malicious assaults. So he swung and missed a couple times. Charged him for it.
I guess.
It's not that common to get felony charges
No.
while playing a basketball game.
No.
I've never heard of it.
No. But I guess that's the new world we're living in. Granted, he broke somebody's nose, but
That
I
bled
don't
for
know.
4 hours. I mean, did he try tilting his head up and
right, that's
squeezing
what
it
yeah.
for a little bit? Because
That's
if you prematurely just stop doing that, it's going to keep bleeding, man. And
Did
when
he
they
try-
said for 4 hours was like it wasn't like a river of blood.
I think it was a river of blood.
You think
Yeah.
it was a river of blood.
The mom was like, it's a river of blood.
Yeah.
It wouldn't stop for 4 hours.
Well, what if it was just like every time he took like the little like nose, the paper tissue glops in his nostrils, pulled it out, it was still red. He's like, still bleeding.
Still
And
bleeding.
then he puts another one in there, hangs
Right.
out, plays video games. Hour later, still bleeding. It's
Still red
crazy.
glops.
Still red glop. And then he just puts another one in, and the mom's like, oh my God, you've been bleeding for 4 hours
4
now.
hours.
We have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Could have been like that.
It could have been like that. I think the guy who got hit should have you got to hit him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, then his mom had to go report him to the police. Anyway, I don't know. Let us know in the comments section. What do you think? Do you think you should be arrested for something that happens in a game? I mean, he didn't punch the referee. He didn't bring a gun to a football scrum.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That just happened.
Because he does also seem like a loose screw where he's like his energy is maybe hinting juvenile detention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe, bring him in, teach him, like give him a smack on the wrist and be like, hey, maybe start learning how to play sports or take up fucking boxing.
Boxing. There we go.
Yeah,
UFC.
he needs something a little bit more combat.
Yeah.
Concentrated.
Focus that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of violence, not all violence involves blood
No?
or punching or elbowing.
Oh,
Words are
right.
violence, Ben.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes you can beat someone with an orange and it doesn't leave bruises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, very true. Okay, great. Good to know. Good to know. There was a fella. He was an apprentice at a garage. His name is Brooklyn Forrester Hayes. He claimed, yes, Brooklyn Forrester Hayes, fancy.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's not from around here. This is over across the pond.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, Brooklyn Forrester Hayes, he was real mad because he says a coworker has been tampering with his lunch.
Oh.
Yeah, and he didn't like that one bit.
Oh, no.
Yes, he was 21 years old. He is.
Oh.
He's real pissed off. And he started making threats towards the other employees, telling him he would mess up anyone's toolbox and damage his bike if he found out that person was messing with his lunch.
Quit messing with my lunch.
in his toolbox.
Yes, he said he was going to mess with this guy's toolbox and damage his bike. Forrester Hayes was fired from his role at the Scania truck depot after bosses saw the abusive messages he had been sending.
Abusive.
Aw.
Yes.
Wow.
He took the firm to an employment tribunal, claiming he was unfairly dismissed and that there was a culture of banter at Scania. So
Right.
what drove him over the edge?
So he was saying that was like a facetious thing where he wasn't like, I'm gonna mess up. He's like, all right, guys, stop taking my fucking lunch, or I'm gonna mess with your toolbox. There's gonna be a Jesus nut missing from your bike.
So they said pranks are common.
Yeah.
And Forrester Hayes was handed a final warning and said, hey, you better stop threatening these people, okay? He then grabbed him by the collar and held on before a supervisor intervened. So he's grabbing this guy, stop messing with my lunch.
Well, now that's turning into something else.
Yes. Shortly after starting his shift on July 2023, he went to the tea room for a drink and found that his lunch bag had been tampered with. He found his crisps, those are chips, smashed, chocolate bars crushed, and someone had opened his sandwich box and poked finger-sized holes through the sandwiches.
You know they licked their finger before they did it, too.
Yeah, he got all mad. That's why he was all mad.
I'd be pissed, too.
Yeah. They also opened up tea bags and sprinkled tea leaves all over his lunch bag.
All right, that's messed up.
It's messed up.
Yeah, I'm starting to really see why he threatened people's toolboxes
And their bike,
and their bike.
which is pretty adorable.
They're messing with our food.
It's like Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
Forrester Hayes says, quote, he was super upset, dismayed, and angry, and now had no food until he got home.
Yeah.
And then he was hangry on top of that. Oh my
Yes.
God. Oh my, you're looking forward to that sandwich in the fridge.
I get it.
4 hours of work. You finally get your lunch break. Everyone's annoying you. You're like, oh, fucking sandwich. I want that. And then you discover that it's been tampered with.
The only thing I will say when it comes to the crisps, I don't mind a nice smashed up bag of chips.
No.
Kind of take it down that way.
No, I need my
No,
chip.
I need them to be whole.
Yeah.
When they're crunch, I need my teeth to be the crunchers of the chip.
Yes, but it's a little easier sometimes if you just crunch them, and then open up and then you just pour them into your mouth.
Nah.
No. I want the satisfaction of feeling this like very fragile chip just crack.
Yeah, I get depressed getting to the end of the bag of chips when it's all just like the crushed up part.
Yeah. And you like
Because there's no more crunch left.
yeah, you throw it into your
Yeah.
mouth.
No,
but
it's a
not
crunch.
the
There's still
same.
crunch.
Yeah, but it's not. It's,
No, it's like already pre-chewed for you.
it's pre-crunched.
It's not
yeah,
wet.
It's pre-crunched.
It's almost because it's like pretty much all oil
It
too.
is
Yeah.
almost wet.
Well, anyway, he thinks the same way that you guys think because he threw the contents of the lunchbox in the bin, which is the garbage. He said, I hate this. I hate this here.
That's it.
Forrester Hayes assumed the culprit was an apprentice on the early shift and told the colleague, I'm going to fuck him up for it. Then he says, quote, if I see his fucking toolbox open tomorrow, I'm going to fuck up everything up in there. So he's going to mess with his tools.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, bend with screws?
Yeah, like, how do you mess with the screw? Like, you just draw a dick on each one of them?
I can't use this anymore. He put a cock on it. So Forrester Hayes, he sent messages to everyone on the early shift asking them if they knew who was responsible. In a Snapchat message to an apprentice he suspected, he says, if I find out it was you, your toolbox is fucked. So he is so mad. He's going to go after the guy's toolbox.
He's going to go after the toolbox.
Which is, wow, that's pretty aggressive stuff.
I don't understand what he's going to do.
I feel bad for this guy because, like, every group of friends in a guy's group, we all have had someone where, like, you just fuck with them all the time because of their reaction. And you're like, this is adorable.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're going to fuck up my toolbox?
Yeah.
It sucks. And it sucks because, like, they do kind of, the more they get upset, the more it's kind of hilarious.
Yes, exactly.
It gets funnier and funnier, and you don't mean for it, but they get.
Then one day they just snap.
Yeah,
then they shoot everybody.
God, dude, man, it's been all love this whole time.
Yeah.
It's just that, why do you? Come on.
Yep.
Look at what you do. You start adding fluffy shit to our fucking wrenches.
Yep.
You just attach cotton to everything, so it's not sharp anymore. Like, what do you? That's your revenge.
Someone's last words were like, but I was nice to you, Forrester. I was nice to you. Not nice enough. Yep. So he says, if it was you, you're paying for my lunch. And if you don't, I'll cut your tire valves off. So he's gonna cut tire valves
Hey,
off.
that's a little more than messing with my toolbox, buddy.
It is. In
Yeah.
an exchange of messages with another colleague, he said the culprit had fucked up all my food for tonight. And then the colleague replied, yeah, that's a bit much. I would only do the crisps at worst, not everything. So he's like, I'll fuck with your crisps.
He's got some decency.
Yeah. He's like, oh man, that was bad form. See, if it were me, this is how I would attack the lunchbox.
Right.
Put a lock on your lunchbox.
Yeah.
It's adorable. So then Forrester Hayes, they had a tribunal. They're calling this a garage tribunal.
A tribunal.
Yes, which I can only imagine.
There's like an emergency bell that's never rang. Yeah. Ringing it.
My God. It's time for a tribunal. We haven't had one in 25 years.
Yeah.
So he says, I have ADHD. He's like, I have ADHD, everybody. That's why he was saying some of those things impulsively.
First of all, isn't that Tourette's?
It could be.
Second of all,
yes,
so he got the fake diagnosis wrong.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But ADHD, you are a little impulsive. I have it. I'm impulsively fun.
Do you tell people you're going to ruin their lunchboxes or their toolboxes?
No.
No, thinks back has to remember about it.
No, I don't know anyone that works.
But this is what I'm talking about. This is part of the reaction. So this is going to get him made fun of even more because they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I have ADHD. After everything.
What's the guy who said he was autistic and that's why he killed him?
Koberger.
Yeah, that's right. I'm autistic. I killed 4 people. I'm autistic.
Yeah.
Okay. So he said at the time he was so impulsive, he, quote, did not stop to think about the consequences of the messages. The following day, a foreman asked all of the apprentices if they knew what happened to the lunch.
Did anyone fess up?
Nobody.
Wow. Well,
Nobody fessed up.
Because it's gone too far now.
Oh, it's when you can't.
Once it starts avalanching like this,
No.
then you fully pull back and you hope no one makes eye contact with you.
Just one dude with a little pickle under his nail.
Yeah.
Hope they don't do a DNA test. So no one owned up to that, but some did say they received some messages that were abusive.
Oh, they would. Oh, they would.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. So this whole time I've been thinking about how to fuck with someone's toolbox in a cute way. Pouring honey all over the tools.
Oh, that would fuck
good.
everything up.
Winnie the Pooh it.
I'd be so pissed.
Or just smashing a banana into all of it.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, because it'd be so annoying.
And then
Just get everything out, and you got to just clean everything. It's still going to get sticky. Flies are going to get on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to fully get all the banana out. It's always going to smell like banana in your toolbox.
And that's really the only way to combat a food crime is with more food.
Exactly.
Anyway, he was fired, and now he is claiming that he was unfairly dismissed and that the investigation that the tribunal, again, I would love to know who these people are, was inadequate. And the managers did not take his ADHD into account before they made the decision.
Let me see a prescription.
Yes, the tribunal ruled that his bosses were entitled to conclude his behavior was unacceptable and that dismissal was necessary.
What tribunal rule? It sounds like they took like car grease and like painted on their faces for this fucking ritual. Their tribunal.
Yes, it was very serious.
So serious.
It's very serious.
And then meanwhile, this kid is pulling a Ross. It's just like, my sandwich!
Yep.
He gets fired over it.
It's just amazing.
What a great time.
All he did was get mad that people were fucking with his stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they fingered his sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm with him. The tribunal should have
He said,
stood up for him.
He said, I'm going to destroy your toolbox and shit.
Yeah.
And then if I were the boss, I would have been like, hey, if I see any destroyed toolboxes, I'm pretty much going to know it was you.
It was you, yeah.
You told everyone you would do it.
And it's all empty threats. Look at this kid. He's adorable.
He's so cute.
That's why they're fucking with him.
He's not that adorable.
He's got a baby face and like it's just so mad when it gets
Yeah, but
all
he's-
red and angry.
He's 21 with that face.
He looks like
Scary.
He's one of those people that is like, I'm not crying because I tear up when I'm angry.
I cry when I get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are funny.
That is me though.
Yeah.
Totally you.
You get all red faced. Then you just talk about it nonstop for like 3 freaking months. I'm like, we know, Kyle.
Yes.
Oh.
God damn. Anyway. All right. Well, let's see. Anything from the chat?
Yes.
Should basketball players be arrested on the court now?
Well, Chris G said, did we learn nothing from the eyebrow incident regarding this?
Great.
It's so true.
This is the eyebrow type guy. You just don't.
All over again.
But I do understand, you're hungry and lunch but
I would be pissed.
I would be pissed.
Yeah.
I would be pissed. It's kind of funny,
Yeah.
but also, come on.
Jeff says, ban him for the season. No charges for the kid that was throwing elbows around.
Okay, there you go. I'm fine with that.
His tourniquet says he was clearly doing that shit on purpose. There needs to be consequences.
Okay, I agree with
Very
that.
true.
Whether or
Very
not legal,
true.
we don't know. He had huge nostrils. She said the nostrils are giving bowling ball sniffer.
The
Bowling balls.
the nostrils are giving 8-ball sniffer, but yeah, sure, whatever.
In response to the Menendez brothers being friends with Rosie O'Donnell, they said for the pardon, they're going to be schmoozing with Roseanne Barr. So they'll be on
wow.
Trump's good side
Oh,
Wow.
yes, that's
Oh
right.
my god.
It's a tale of 2 roses.
then. Yes.
Yes.
And then a lot of people talking about the Karen Reed documentary.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you were saying that has now been moved.
Yes, the trial was
trial.
going to start tomorrow, but they released one juror, so they're down to 15. They're going to need 16 to 18 before the trial starts, so that's
Wow.
going to continue tomorrow instead
That
of the
is
trial.
annoying.
I've gotten a bunch of DMs about that, and we will be covering it because
Yes.
Kyle knows a lot, Jerry knows a lot,
Yeah.
and I think she looks kind of cute, but apparently you guys don't like her very much. But you also don't think she's guilty.
I like
No.
her. I don't mind her. I think she just sneers a lot and laughs at anything the prosecution says, and a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot about like her presentation and her just delivery of her natural personality. Is it screaming likable?
No.
And because of that, it's not. It's like people are like using that unlikability to be like she's guilty.
That bitch is
Like,
guilty.
I think she's not super likable as a person, but
Yes.
I do think she's innocent.
Yes.
All right. Well, we
Agreed.
will be covering that
Yeah.
story. Thank you all so much for joining our Monday episode. We will be back tomorrow, and we're going to have a great week ahead. Okay, everyone, hail yourself. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.